She was a middle-aged woman. Like, what do you mean this is the first time you've ever tried hot water?
Yeah.
It's
Is
not
that
like
really true?
it cannot be true.
Welcome to No Ordinary Friendship.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Teresa.
Let's catch up. Hello, listeners.
We're doing a remote session. I haven't seen Emily in 2 weeks. It's very strange.
Oh my gosh.
We'll revert back to regular energy next week, but it's still going to be great this week.
Yes, we are. I'm coming up for air after a rough week in this household, to say that.
Which we'll get into later, I think.
Yes. Okay. Oh, breaking news. Did you get an Oura ring?
I did.
How did I not even notice?
I'm showing Emily my ring over the webcam. Yeah, I know. It does feel like I got engaged or something the way I put my hands up. But I did get it. It doesn't count, right?
It doesn't count. Honestly, I've been like wanting to treat myself for the week that I went through. So I might break it one time too.
Yeah, there's an exception. It's totally fine. It's also Valentine's Day.
I think I even had a dream.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Then I was talking to you about it.
You had a dream that you talked to me about the purchase you're going to make?
About breaking the rule. Like, oh, if someone gave me money for my birthday and I use that to buy something, does that count?
To give all the loopholes and scenarios.
Yeah. And you were like, oh, yeah, it totally doesn't count.
Wait, you have to tell me what it is in the next section then. Okay, yeah. But I bought an Oura ring, and you know, what pissed me off was when I ordered it online, you get a sizing kit, which is great. So then you know exactly which one to order. But I learned that it's a tiny bit off from like the actual ring.
Oh, really?
Because I was definitely in between sizes and I went with a smaller one, but I'm glad I did because the actual ring came a little bit bigger. And you know, your fingers swell and whatever when you're sleeping, and they recommend you sleep with it at night too. But it's okay, that's the first thing that pissed me off. The second thing that pissed me off was because I got a referral code from my coworker. It was definitely a little bit cheaper, but they also make you pay for $15 of shipping on their actual website. I know, for a little ring.
For a tiny ring?
For a tiny ring that's not even worth that much. And the worst part was it took forever to get here.
Oh my gosh. After $15 shipping, it should be like next day delivery.
We're so spoiled with that double Amazon, but yeah, I agreed. And every day on Slack, she would message me. I'd be like, don't have it yet. Don't have it yet. But let me give you my quick and dirty review from sleeping with it for 3 days, because I think a lot of people, so it comes with an app. That you get a readiness score in the morning. And it's a combination of things of like, I think your activity from the previous day, your heart rate variability, your body temperature, and like how many hours you slept and how many hours it was broken, etc. What pissed me off, and it also tracks stuff like stress levels, which I think is kind of cool. But that one needs more of a week to calibrate, so I don't have any stats there yet. But every morning when I was comparing with my coworker, like the 3 days that we did it, it said that I was like optimal, good, ready to go to take on the day. And those were days where I was up for like 2.5 hours, like randomly in the middle of the night with Logan.
Really?
And fall back asleep. And I was like, this thing is bullshit, because I feel a little bit dead inside, physically and like mentally. And my coworker's younger, so she's like, not the Oura ring gaslighting you.
Maybe it just needs more time to get to know you. Like it doesn't know your baseline.
Yeah, that's true. Because even in the last like day and a half, like the scores have really dropped where like they're like, pay attention, your recovery's not good because of like the amount of REM and deep sleep that you're getting, which I do think is very cool data if it actually is accurate. But those are my initial thoughts. I do like it. I got the rose gold, and there's a sensor in the back. So it kind of like the Apple Watch has a sensor and it lights up randomly sometimes with that. You know what I'm talking about? Like the green light underneath the sensor part. So Steven didn't even know I got it. And one time he was like waking me up in the morning. He's like, what is that? What is that? Like ring light coming out of my finger.
Like, I didn't give you that.
I think he thought there was like something malfunctioning on my finger.
Oh, well, congrats on your new Oura ring. I think you should keep us posted. Like,
I'll let you know
useful is it?
Yeah. So far, I think it's pretty cool to track this kind of data. What I thought I could do was wear my nice watches because I right now use my Apple Watch for activity tracking and steps tracking. Just use the Oura Ring for that because it does all the same thing. But
Oh,
I'm
does it do
learning.
like steps too?
Yeah, but according to everybody, it is not accurate whatsoever. So it estimates that you did
Oh,
way more.
because your hand moves so much more, right?
Right. Or like even stuff like
Or your
typing.
fingers,
I'm like,
like you're typing. Yeah.
so it's not good.
You're stepping.
Yeah, it's definitely not as good as like an Apple Watch in understanding movements and like what actually should count as activity or not. So that's disappointing. So back to the Apple Watch I go.
Very cool. Okay, mine is this is silly, but do you remember I talked about how I have this curse of new things? Like if I use my new things too soon, something happens to it.
I do
I
remember.
feel like maybe it is in my family because Charlie brought something that she got from the arcade for show and tell this week. Like we just got it over the weekend and she brought it and then it broke. Actually, this other little girl broke it. And I know she didn't do it on purpose, but still annoying. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is flashbacks to when I brought something that I really liked to show and tell. And then I dropped it and it broke.
What did she bring?
It was like, it's actually really cute. Well, Cassie still has hers. It's like a little squishy axolotl. But it's like kind of squishy and stretchy. The girl like pulled it really hard and it just like maybe like an arm popped off or something. It just like, I don't know what happened. But she was really sad and she kept asking like, why do you think she did that? And I was like, I don't know. I don't think it was on purpose. And I really want to like, I don't want to spoil her, but I almost want to just like order her one on Amazon or something because like she was so sad and like it definitely wasn't her fault, you know?
Right.
I don't want her to have the traumatic memories that I have of bringing something for
see if she's still sad in like a couple days or in a week.
That's true. She hasn't mentioned it. It was on Wednesday and she didn't mention it yesterday. So we'll see. But hopefully I didn't pass on my curse.
I thought you were going to tell me something about your parents. I'm like, oh, it is generational.
My parents haven't shared if they had show and tell as kids. So
okay, guess how much and what do you want? Emily, I was influenced by you. Remember, I was asking you what brand of press-on nails you get? So I got a Glamnetics set. And you're so right. They like pop off within the first day or two. But after that, I like reapplied the glue. I think I just didn't put enough glue on the first time. And I cut them short because I just can't have long.
You're a mom.
Yeah, exactly. And it really bothers me when I'm typing. I know some girls can do it, but like I cannot type with long nails. They were really good for a week and I really liked the way that they looked. And they got like really nice thickness to them, like the gel thickness that you get. Because when I was telling you about Dazzle Dry, even though it wouldn't chip, it was still like very thin and it just didn't feel like salon gel nails.
Yeah.
Good.
Yay, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, if you glue it again, I feel like that somehow does a trick and then like you can't even get it off when you want to because it's like stuck so nicely.
Agreed. Like all of them have popped off, which I kind of like. They don't, I don't know. Is the glue
There's no damage, right?
Yeah, there's like very minimal damage compared to gel nails. But my one pinky, oh my God, it just won't come off.
Wait, show me. What color was it?
It's pink. It's like the ombre pink and white. You can barely see it.
Ooh, pretty.
It's really pretty. It's called Creamer. And it doesn't look as good online. But yeah, I thought it was like a really nice neutral shade, but also had some design to it.
Yeah, you're inspiring me to maybe do it again because I do feel like it's pretty quick, right? Like doing it doesn't take as long as actually like I feel like painting your nails or even doing some of the other ones. And it just like automatically makes you feel a little bit more dressed up.
100%.
Like fake lashes.
Yeah. I still need to get on that fake lashes train, but I was like very impressed for $15 and for a week. I mean, if it pops off the first day, you have to know where that nail pop off to.
Yeah, you can't lose it.
But there's so many extras that you could find one that kind of fits anyway.
Totally. Yay, I'm glad you're a fan.
Then I
Speaking of lashes, that actually is something that I kind of want to get. And I don't know if they are good, but on TikTok, have you ever been served this brand? It's like magnetic reusable
Oh my God,
lashes
yes.
called
Wasado?
Wasado. Yeah. And everyone makes it look so easy. It looks very natural. And people are like, oh, it's very lightweight. It's not super cheap. I forget how much, like 50 or $60. But then if you think about like one time of getting lash extensions is like hundreds. So if you really can use it multiple times, it seems like a good deal. But I'm just nervous that it will arrive and it will look horrible. And like, what would I do? Or like, I feel like I have weird eyes too, like not a typical shape and size. So like, I don't know. What if it like is too long for my eye?
It is confusing. Well, I think you can trim them too. And I'm sure they have different styles. But you're right. Eye shape, I feel like does make a big difference. I am so not well versed though in the land of fake eyelashes because I was always too nervous to get on that train. Because I know like once you start, you cannot stop.
Yeah, it is like a drug because you're like, oh, I wake up and I look good. Like I didn't do anything. I've only mostly done it when I was, for some reason, when I was giving birth, which in hindsight, like who cares how you look?
Wait, that's so funny that you compared it to like a drug. It's true though, I guess. I just remember in college, this girl just couldn't stop. And everyone always complimented her. And she kept warning everybody, like, no, you don't want to be like me. It's not good.
It's expensive. And I don't know. I feel like some people are just better at using just like the glue on lashes, but I'm too lazy for that. So I feel like if the magnetic one works, I could get on board with it. But otherwise, I'll just deal with looking tired and old.
Yeah. No, I've seen them and they do look so easy on TikTok. I think you have to curl your own eyelashes first, right? And then like stick it on together with your fake ones. I don't know either. But I don't think they're $50. I think they're cheaper.
Oh, they're what?
Like 30s-ish.
Okay. Maybe that will be my one splurge.
You're one exception. Oh, the other thing is I started researching like other press-on nails that got good reviews. Lip and June apparently are pretty good as well. We should try.
Oh, they're like a nail polish brand. I didn't know they had press-ons.
Yeah, and they, I think they got really popular over COVID, right? Because people were like, I need to get my nails done. I just cannot believe how expensive it is to get nails. Well, prices aside, it also takes forever to actually go to the salon, sit there, wait, and I guess it's good, but it's also so damaging.
They do it well, yeah. And like also my introverted self like really doesn't like the human interaction with strangers.
So limited though. Especially at the nail salon. Moving on. Pop culture, Emily.
Yes. On TikTok, I saw a post and this person asked like, oh, what do you do to like add whimsy to your life? And a lot of people responded. And I just thought that a lot of the answers were really cute and funny. So since we had kind of a downer episode before and we were like, we're going to only be positive, I wanted to share it with people.
That is such a funny question. And
yeah, but I liked it.
I know it's a very you type of question, Emily. I feel like if I saw that TikTok, I would scroll right past it without a second thought.
Okay, here. I'm going to read some of the comments. Some of them are silly, but it's funny. Okay. So the question was, girlies, what are some little things you do to be more whimsical? I love knowing about cute little habits. Pretty open-ended, right?
Right.
Someone said, I tell my dishes it's bath time. That one got 139,000 likes. I tell my hamster not to answer the door for anyone before I leave. I have Antarctica pinned on the weather app to check on the penguins every day.
Aww.
I say excuse me to the pigeons on the sidewalk. I say road trip every time I miss an exit while driving. That made me think of when we go to Gilroy. Someone said, I thank candles before blowing them out.
Oh.
I say, may I take your coats while I'm peeling garlic?
Oh,
like, can you just imagine all these random people do this in their everyday
people are
life?
so creative, even if they don't do them. Like, those are such original, unique thoughts.
Yeah. Tell my food and drinks, hold on, ladies, when I'm turning sharp corners in my truck.
Wait, these are so cute.
Aren't they? Like such an unexpected surprise. Like I don't even think I have anything that I could comment on this list, but it made me feel like I need to bring some whimsy into my life.
I feel like kids do that a lot. Like I don't know, just like saying goodbye to their teddy bears, like that's
true
too. But you just do that as normal toddler behavior.
Okay, this one's weird. I like drinking water at night out of small wooden bowls. It makes me feel like I'm being nursed back to health by spirits.
Okay, that one's a little woo-woo.
I say, bye, house. I love you whenever I go outside.
Aww.
Anyway, there are like thousands of comments. If anybody's on TikTok and wants me to send them the link to that, I'm happy to do so. But yeah, it brightened my day to hear about that.
I kind of like that. That was way more fun than I expected it to be. Thank you.
Yay.
For that Gilroy thing, listeners, for context, I didn't go to Gilroy. You guys dropped me off at the airport.
You never got to Gilroy with us?
No, well,
I went multiple times.
You guys dropped me off at the airport, and then you guys had to go south to go back home, and then I guess you guys just kept driving. I just kept hearing about the Gilroy story. And somehow you ended up 45 minutes away from home.
Yeah, it's because, when a bunch of girls are in the car together, you're just like chatting and talking, and the driver forgets that they're driving and should be looking for exits.
Yep, totally. I mean, that happened last weekend. Okay, no.
Where?
Oh my God, it wasn't last weekend. It was last Wednesday, which is literally 2 days ago. Oh my God, my brain.
Where did you go?
The exit. We're just going to Los Altos, which is like a 20-minute ride away. And the same friend that also drove to Gilroy, I think, was like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. You'll have to tell me about that later.
Just kept chatting. Okay, so I put in pop culture Poppi influencer gifts. Did you see the whole vending machine drama?
No, tell me.
So Poppi, as like a marketing team, sent a bunch of influencers like these fully loaded Poppi vending machines. And it caused a lot of drama online because they're like, first of all, these influencers don't need like a fully stocked Poppi machine. It's like super expensive. They're $25,000 or whatever. They're fully loaded. And people are like, why couldn't they donate to like a local school, a hospital, or like even a post office or small business? And I think there's also drama because they kept sending it to just white influencers. And then this one brown influencer who's like the token DEI, I guess, influencer giftee. And someone suggested like what they should have done was like maybe have the influencers pick a local place that they would want to put the vending machine at. So it's like kind of a win-win because the influencers have the followers, you get to do something good for the community. And I thought that was a great idea. But also like if you're the influencer getting this full vending machine, like what do you even do with it? It's so big. And not all influencers live in it.
Wants to keep it, right?
Right. Like you probably sell it or now the burden is on you to give it away.
That is kind of crazy. Like of all the things, why do that?
And why do it to someone's home? Like imagine if somebody lived in a little apartment.
Imagine putting it in my house. There's no space.
You put it in your garage and you'd be happy about it, damn it.
I'll donate it to our neighborhood pool.
And that
they have like a defunct vending machine.
Yeah. And I think, did we talk about Poppi in the past where maybe they got bought by a larger company?
I think they were, did they get bought or they were going to get bought or something? So we were like, oh, enjoy it before they change the formula or whatever.
Yeah.
Was that Poppi?
Yeah, I think so. I was just a little bit bummed because I love Poppi and I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it just seems like a lot of marketing gifts or PR gifts these days are just so over the top because they're all trying to grab for attention.
Yeah, like they want to make a big splash on social media, so it requires like a lot of waste. Yeah. But I do think like slowly people are kind of like even influencers I've seen on TikTok say like, why do you have to use so much packaging? Or like, is there an alternative? Like, I don't need all of this fancy stuff. But I don't know. I understand as a marketer, you're getting pressure to like, it's all about the metrics, and like,
Right.
Are you getting enough views or conversions? And
yeah,
it's
and
just
it has people,
capitalism again.
and it has people talking about them, right? Like there's way more
Mhm.
brand awareness now, even though it is bad press, I guess.
Yeah. One brand that I follow on Instagram is Coco Kind. And I thought they did something kind of cool. Instead of having an influencer trip, they actually did a trip to Napa for 6 of their like customers. So people who are like have been really loyal or are really actively engaging with them on social media, they
Yeah.
picked them and treated them to like an all expenses covered trip to Napa where they like met the founder. They got
Yeah.
to preview like new product and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's a really creative thing. And they could still share it on social media. And I think it set them apart as a brand because they were like more like thinking they're real customers,
Totally. I feel like it instills a lot of goodwill into their branding story too. Fun fact,
Yeah.
my mom is friends with the founder's mom. And
oh, really?
yeah, and I remember.
Why have you never gotten any free product, Teresa?
I mean, I have, but it was definitely earlier in her journey building up Coco Kind, and so the packaging was always a bit. It was like definitely before they got really big. I
like
got a lot,
kind of like lab samples or something.
I think the packaging just like if you like a spray, for example, like it would be very harsh or very large droplets versus something that's like ish. So I was always like closing my or like really squeezing my eyes closed, like surprised every time I was spraying it on myself.
That is a fun fact. We should ask them if they want to advertise on our podcast. Just give them a free shout out.
That's true. They do have good stuff. Okay. I wanted to tell you about a show I've been watching.
Okay.
That I'm not sure if you would like it, but this is just more of a PSA for all my friends out there, all my virtual friends out there about Southern hospitality. So there's a lot of like sadness when Vanderpump Rules ended last year. What was it, 2.5
Oh,
ago?
it completely ended? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they completely ended. They put it on pause, I guess, for a little bit. And then I think it officially, with the original cast, it's officially gone now. And they're technically it's still on because they're bringing in a bunch of younger people and they're still calling it Vanderpump Rules, but it's never going to be the same because like all these people want to be influencers. They kind of know the formula and they're not original because they have kind of like a playbook that they're trying to follow and it just never works out in terms of reality TV.
Right.
So Southern Hospitality is different because they are actually friends. They are young and they're kind of messy. They're based in Charleston and it's a little bit of a spin-off show off of this other Bravo reality TV show called Southern Charm because it's also based in Charleston. And the
one with Craig, right?
Yeah, and the owner of this bar lounge that it's centered around is owned by one of the cast members of Southern Charm. So, but everyone that she employs is like, they're super young. They're bottle girls. They're hostesses. They're like, one guy is called Joey Bottles. And it's about like their drama, like who's dating who and the petty little arguments that happen in their friend group, but also the fact that they're actually truly friends. But it's just really fun because it's super low stakes drama. For the most part, I would say it's really low stakes versus Housewives. It's like, paternity tests and divorces or that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend it. I would start from season 1 and it's just like very lighthearted and fun.
Okay. I'm down to try it out. I don't know. I feel like watching stuff in the South is nice because they look warm a lot of times. But it's been so cold and rainy here. But also Summer House is back. So we need to watch that and discuss it.
I watched the first episode already. Did you?
No. I barely watched any TV this week.
They picked up cameras after they picked up. Yeah.
They did? Is that how it starts?
What?
Is that how it starts?
Well,
or is that the end?
I guess they like tweak the trailer a bit so you know that it's coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting. Our listeners probably don't care, but Paige and Craig broke up, and Paige is from Giggly Squad and Summer House. And originally, when she made her announcement, she was like, "Oh, like I love Craig so much. He's the greatest. Like he's the best I could have asked for."
Right.
But I feel like Craig on his end hasn't been very nice, and like when he's asked about stuff, he hasn't helped to like deny cheating rumors and stuff.
Right.
Even though Paige, like nobody cheated, it was like a very clean breakup or whatever. So it's kind of weird to see it evolve, because I think if he also was kind and said things, you know, like the way she did, then it could have been amicable. But I don't know if he's just like really hurt, or if, I don't know.
I think he's really hurt. Yeah. Because on her podcast, when she announced it, she was like, "You'll never hear me say a bad thing about Craig." And it's like the evolution is, I don't know, it was just like very quick to change after everything happened, because now she's out and about, like holding hands with this Joe D'Amelio guy that it's not cute at all.
But she's single. She's allowed to do whatever she wants, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
She didn't cheat, and it just wasn't right for her.
Craig is definitely bitter because he was the one that got broken up with. It's definitely not mutual.
Yeah. Okay. This one is also kind of strange. Have you seen these things that say the Duolingo owl duo has died?
What?
It's really morbid, but I feel like they're building up to something where he's going to come back to life or evolve. But like Duo was kind of like popular on TikTok. Like
Duolingo owl. No, totally. Like they have such a strange marketing team on TikTok.
They do really well on TikTok.
Yeah, it's rarely like it's not what you would expect from Duolingo.
Yeah. And also strangely, I didn't know this, but when I searched like AI related stock that you should buy, Duolingo popped up as one of them.
They're publicly traded?
Like, oh. Yeah, I guess so. And I also didn't know they would be considered like AI, but I guess they invest in AI to do some of their like language learning stuff. I don't know. Unrelated. But yeah, Duo apparently has died, and I don't know what that means.
This is so weird. Okay, I have to go look that up later. They must be building up to something bigger. Like a whole, but like dying is definitely morbid. Could have gone like
totally. Like I just feel like
go visit his family.
It was unprompted, you know? It doesn't feel like anything happened where they should have said that.
Random. Okay, well, let's see what that announcement is later.
Yes. Family health. So listeners, I basically haven't really been leaving my house because Cassie, like so many other, I think millions of people this flu season, got the flu. And it has been a long, rough road. Actually, it was tiring because she wasn't sleeping well at night. All of the bad stuff was happening at night. And then strangely during the day, she would almost seem normal or fine. So if you have a child who's exhibiting these symptoms, it could be flu A. Anyway, I was like trying to take a positive spin on it. Mm-hmm. And as exhausted as I was like, well, at least I'm getting to spend a lot of one-on-one time with her, which is kind of rare as like a mom of two who a lot of times like I'm watching them just by myself. And she's at an age where like it's definitely more difficult than Charlie, but also she's interactive and like we can talk. And I was like, I'm kind of enjoying this. Like when I thought she was going to go back to school, like on Wednesday, I was like, oh, I'm kind of going to miss this. And then she didn't go back to school for more days. And then my other positive spin was, I guess they're like building their immune system because knock on wood, we thought like Charlie probably got the same thing that Cassie did, but she like never got a fever and she just had like kind of a runny nose and some congestion. So I'm hoping, as Cassie gets older that she'll also be stronger as she's getting these and it won't be quite as tough as she gets older.
Yeah, hopefully that's true. But it is nice that you got to spend some one-on-one time with her though. It is so rare and you're probably like a little bit more energetic than you would if you had two with you. And
yeah, could have been two.
Could have been
And Victor
worse.
could have been out of town like last year. So it wasn't horrible.
I like that. It's a good positive spin, Emily.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Well, she's feeling better now, and she's partaking
Yes,
in
she's on the up
Valentine's
and up.
Day. Yeah, she's on the up and up for sure. All right, last thing I'll share is okay. So for a little bit, when TikTok was about to be banned, we were all on Rednote, or for a little bit, right? And I was scrolling the other day, and this one post that I saw that got like hundreds of thousands of likes was so ridiculously dramatic. It was this white lady. She was in her kitchen and she's like, "Hi, everybody." And she had like her little Chinese subtitles on. She's like, "So everybody here has been teaching the foreigners, like these TikTok refugees, like what are some good things for your body and things that we should take into consideration for our wellness." And she's like, "I hear that ice water is bad for me, but it's all I drink and hot water is the way to go. So today I'm going to try hot water for the first time." She was just like really playing it up like she was, I don't know, trying something really like a crazy delicacy.
So foreign.
All she did was boil some water, and she like smelled it, and she like swirled it around in her mug a little bit, and then she drank it. She's like, "This tastes like what I would expect it to taste like." And she's like, "It is very hot." It was just so funny, but also to me, she was a middle-aged woman. Like, what do you mean this is the first time you've ever tried hot water?
Yeah.
It's not
Is that
like,
really true?
it cannot be true. Like, you've had tea, you've had some soup, right? I know that's a little bit different, but like hot water is not so out there.
Yeah.
It's like drinking
Maybe she means like plain hot water.
It almost seemed like it didn't seem fake though either, which is why I'm bringing it up, because it was just that ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, maybe a lot of white people have never had plain hot water.
I'm learning that actually, that they're like, "Oh my gosh, warm water is so much better for my digestion. Like I'm more regular. My stomach and my bowels feel more settled when I drink warm or hot water versus ice water," which is like, duh, if you're Asian.
Yeah. The Asians know what's up.
Okay, that's it. That's all from me.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, because it would have gone on another week and I would be like, what is Teresa going to tell us?
Okay, I will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Have a great week. Bye.